Module 4, Unit 1, Ongoing Monitoring and Evaluation of WASH Interventions. This unit will help you to identify common shortfalls in monitoring, be aware of the role of the coordinator in monitoring WASH interventions, define monitoring and evaluation in emergency situations, know different steps to develop a monitoring mechanism, know some tips that can facilitate the process of setting a monitoring mechanism. Since several weeks now, the WASH interventions have started in priority areas of mail. Daniel is aware that he needs urgently to put in place a monitoring system to follow intervention of partners. Patrick is happy to give him some useful advice.
Hi Patrick, I'm preparing a monitoring system to ensure the follow-up of all interventions. I need to know the tools that I have to prepare.
You are right, Daniel. That is of crucial importance. WASH coordination platforms experienced to date have indicated weaknesses in the monitoring function. As coordinator, you have an important role to play to improve it. Even before deciding the tools, you have to agree with the partners on indicators to be measured. The following presentation may help you to identify the different steps involved in the development of a monitoring mechanism.
Let's first define what we understand by monitoring in emergency situations. Monitoring is an ongoing process that involves following up a number of indicators on a regular basis to assess the progress of the WASH coordination platform response and track changes in the emergency situation and evolving needs. Once the situation is stabilised, in-depth evaluations might be conducted at specific moments to measure the results or outcomes and impacts of the interventions. It is important to know that common shortfalls in monitoring are linked to poor linkages between situation and progress monitoring, so focus is on completion of planned activities without reference to the changing emergency context. Tendency to focus on situation and progress monitoring rather than outcomes and impacts. Inadequate participation of WASH stakeholders and effective communities in the process. Duplication in collection of information and information overload. Difficulty in getting agreement to use common monitoring tools and approaches. Collection and adoption of the wrong or inadequate baseline information, preventing effective assessment of change and impact. Poorly defined, inadequate or too many indicators to guide monitoring of all aspects of the WASH response. Failure to monitor target indicators as they are not linked to broader strategic. Setting a good monitoring and evaluation system will help to overcome these shortfalls. The role of the coordinator in this process is to ensure that an adequate monitoring mechanism has been agreed with partners and to build consensus on its use, to solicit the necessary information management support, to make adequate financial provision for ongoing monitoring at all levels, to ensure partners' commitment by allocating monitoring responsibilities to particular agencies for particular locations. Developing a monitoring mechanism is quite similar to the process of developing an assessment plan. The process includes 1. To set and agree indicators, qualitative and quantitative, with partners in line with the objectives of the strategic response plan. Remember that indicators are signals that show whether a standard or objective has been attained. They provide a way of measuring and communicating the progress, results and impacts of WASH interventions, as well as guiding the process or methods used. 2. To develop tools to collect data that will inform the agreed indicators. 3. To develop tools to consolidate and analyse data collected. Excel tables are very useful and quite easy to use. Being proficient in Excel is a requirement, to better perform the function of coordinator. 4. To develop and agree with the partners reporting tools to ensure compatibility of reports and facilitate easy understanding of progress. 5. To develop a monitoring and assessment plan. Gantt chart, clearly indicating dates and responsibilities for reporting. 6. To use visualization tools for dissemination of findings, graphs, maps, figures, photos, etc. 7. To set up a dissemination strategy to ensure that feedback is given to the partners in a structured manner and on a regular basis. Some advice to facilitate the developing of a monitoring system and ensure endorsement and follow-up of partners are: to create working groups to develop the monitoring system and work on data collection and analysis. To make sure all partners participate in the process through working groups and are aware of its importance. The use of an integrated monitoring matrix shared by all the members may be a good idea. To develop guidelines to explain the monitoring and evaluation system and share them with all the partners. To build capacity of partners through training or other methods. To give adequate attention to pre-crisis data and in-crisis data at the first stages of the crisis, identify secondary sources, and to consolidate these data in analysis tables so that it can easily be usable. To assign responsibilities for primary data collection in different locations. Sometimes it can be advisable to pay enumerators to carry out this task. To organise periodical joint reviews of the WASH platform plans and strategic frameworks.
Thank you very much, Patrick. I understand now that the development of data collection tools is only one of several steps to create a real monitoring system. I think I will discuss the idea of a working group with the partners in the meeting this week.
This is also my advice. Do not forget to prepare the terms of reference for this group.